Hello, welcome to part 2 of our tutorial. I've already gone ahead and clicked through on the second player's turn, and we're prepared to buy goods. Again, the first thing we want to do is click on the wholesaler. This time when we click on brain syrup, which is what our first player bought, we can see that there are actually goods in stores. So you have to kind of mentally add the total goods available and the total goods in stores to compare them to the total demand. Let's go ahead and buy this since we saw earlier that it was a good buy. Again, we can fill our store. Our shelf space is full, so we're ready to go back. Let's go ahead and place an ad. This time, let's have them spend a lot of money on advertising, doing the full amount of $10,000. Now, I could make it higher than that. The more just means that it's the highest automatic level. Clicking back. We'll go ahead and buy insurance. Let's have this person auto buy if it's in the middle. Again, there's nothing in the stock exchange since we haven't been there yet. The labor unions. The boss says hello, but not with much enthusiasm. So let's change the salary. Let's say we really don't like them very much. So let's lower it to the lower level of 375. If I click OK, now the union boss looks depressed and refuses to talk to me. I'm going to go ahead and leave it here, not because it's a good business practice, but just to show you some of the different things that happen if you choose pay scales like this. Again, we'll wait for the construction company. The tax bureau and the loan office I've already shown you. If we send our person traveling, as you can see, we've got to pick a captain. Let's go to Zapitalism, which if you click on it and click travel information, you can find out a little more about what the place does. In this case, they're going to allow you to buy products at bargain prices, as you can see right there. Let's go ahead and go there. So we click set sail. Now let's go to the accounting office. The last store we decided to make fancy, but this time let's make it a tacky store with neglected maintenance, and we're not going to spend anything on public service. Okay, if we look at our overhead, you'll see we are spending less than the previous person, even though we're spending more on advertising. Go ahead and click back. Again, there's nothing we can do with the import agency, so let's end the turn. Player 3, as you can see, has another separate logo, which tells you that it's player 3's turn. I'm going to click through these. They remain the same between each turn, between each week. Although there will be one change, which I'll show you as we play the second turn. Clicking on the Royal Wholesaler. Now you can see there's barely any units left. It's still a good deal, though, so let's go ahead and buy some of those. But this time our shelf space is only 17% filled, so we can buy something else. This has a little bit of a difference, so let's go ahead and buy some of those. But let's not fill our store with those. Let's instead do the middle. This is half of the remaining units left in my store. Click OK. And let's buy some of these as well. Upper will take the maximum that I have available. Clicking the back button. Let's have this person not advertise at all. We'll not get insurance, but let's go ahead and we'll pay our workers very well. Our union boss gives us a friendly hello and asks how the family's doing. Well, that makes us feel good. Let's go ahead and send our person traveling. Let's go to Myrmidon this time, even though it'll take 2 weeks. And let's set our store image. Let's go ahead and have a pleasant atmosphere with satisfactory maintenance, but be a generous donor. And we end the turn. Now it's going to make sure, are we sure we don't want to advertise? Since we want to see what it does in comparison to the others, I'm going to go ahead and click yes. Now it's week 2. If you'll remember, this is the character who went last the first round. Well, what happened? Well, let's take a look. If we click OK, it tells us the wholesaler gives priority to the stores that he felt were the biggest customers. Well, everybody's got the same store size and everybody bought the same amount, so it becomes somewhat random what order they put them in. However, as you can see, Grunion is the top of the ones that we're playing. That's why they went first this round. Now, it gives you a chart giving you a little bit of a description of how well your product sold. If you could hear the audio, it says you made record profit. If you hadn't made record profit, it would show the store shelves with how much is left on them, as you'll probably see in a moment. If you click on each of these products, it gives you a diagram showing the sales. It tells you how many were defective or returned. If you double click on the name, it allows you to make some notes. You can comment. You can also use the drop down, which will tell you good deal. And you can set the price. Let's say I want to increase the price by 300. I click OK. Now, because I said it was a good deal, my color has changed to blue up here. We can look at the overhead again. This was our total expenses. This was our total profits. So this is our cash at hand. Go ahead and click continue. Now we have several graphs that we can use to compare ourselves to each other. We're playing Grunion right now, which is the dark blue. As you can see, they're kind of in the middle. There's a few higher and some lower. We can also look at the net sales of all of the different people selling. We can look at the net cash change. So Hoff Money's increased quite a bit. We increased a little. Spinnaker increased quite a bit. We can look at the cash on hand. And we can look at the size of the store. Later on, we'll be able to increase our size. Again, the first place they probably want to go is to the Royal Wholesaler. Brain Syrup still remains blue to tell us this was a good deal. Again, it looks like that's going to be quite a bit of demand with not many units available. So let's go ahead and purchase those. And our store is full. We didn't place any ads, and we didn't do quite as well as everybody else. So let's go ahead and place an ad this time. We'll put in 200. We can look at the insurance. It's a different price this time. Let's go ahead and set auto buy for our insurance. And let's say we always want to buy insurance. So we'll go with more. Click back. All of our other things should remain basically the same. Let's click on the travel center. Remember, we sent a person out that had to go for 2 weeks. If all goes well, in 1 week, they'll arrive back after visiting Myrmidon. Now, it says if all goes well, because occasionally your traveler will run into problems. We can look at the current news, and we find out a whirlpool is forming around Myrmidon. This could be a problem for our traveler. Go ahead and click End Turn, and we see Tibby gets to go next. I'm going to go rather quickly. This is another You Made Record Profit graphic. Go ahead, and this person's going to charge the most for this, and they're going to say it's a good deal. Click OK. Okay. He returned from his trip, and he's grumbling about how the president just resigned, and it caused a panic buying spree, so there's nothing available. So we didn't really lose any money on this trip, but we didn't gain anything. Click OK. Again, the same graphs. Click Continue. It tells us the news report. We can click OK, and again buy from the wholesaler. Now I'm very quickly going to finish these rounds for the next few rounds until I can show you some of the events that occur. And I will go ahead and pick that up. Ow. If we want to make this purchase to travel, we might have to get some cash. Because if I want to go here, it costs 18,000. But if I look at my total cash, I only have 17,000. So what I need to do is click Borrow, and then choose an amount. I'm going to click the middle, Click OK. Hit the back button, and now I can go wherever I want. Generally, because you pay 4% per week, the best idea is after you've spent what you need to, click the Pay Loan button and pay back the upper amounts. You don't have any cash, but you're also not paying any interest